see this later on YouTube. Okay, so this is just for now. Right now, so what I like to do is I like to go and see about the saints. I like to look into the saints, see when the feast days are, see if there's anything I could do, any type of prayers I could do to keep me on board and tapped in, basically. All right, so let's kind of just go from the title, and then I'll go into this other stuff. So first thing is first, Saint Michael feast day is on September 29th. This is really important for me to just jump on here and say this, because I want you guys to understand that when I'm talking on this app, I actually listen to myself back. I try to help guide myself along the way, if that makes any sense. So September 29th is Saint Michael feast day. And let me, and you guys can look this up on the internet. I'm going to actually read over it. In the video that I'm recording, I'll actually, wave here and say hi. I'm going to actually show you guys a couple of things. So Saint Michael is a practical saint for all people of his great example of tenacity to the will of God, as well as his love for good triumphing over evil. Okay, so you guys know that, like right now I have a lot of people that are asking me, how do I get rid of dark spirits, evil, how do I protect myself and stuff like that. Saint Michael is one good archangel that will definitely help you along the way. One thing that I said in my class, Saint Michael is one of the easiest archangels to communicate with. He's all about communication. That's number one. And all you have to do is pray and ask. And you may start to notice things change around you. All right. So Saint Michael is good for winning battles over demons and, evil altogether. Sometimes I put my Saint Michael candle in front of my door. There's a couple things that I do. I try to keep a nice little corner, for him and pray to him. Sometimes I do pendulum readings to see if he's here. Sometimes I really like to communicate. So the archangels, especially Saint Michael, inspire, communicate, heal, and lead us into happiness, I should say, or lead us into protection and healing and all of that stuff. So just for the camera, since I'm recording this, I'm just going to show the Saint Michael pamphlet. And really, you don't have to have the pamphlet, but I kind of like to keep this in front of my Saint Michael candle that I have. And it's just the basic Saint Michael prayer. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for that old Saint Michael video that I did on TikTok, and I'm going to put that up to the top of my TikTok when I get off of here, so you guys can kind of get the feel of this. The Feast of Saint Michael. And let me go into my book here that I have. I like this book because it tells me about every single saint, all of the feast days and things that I can do. So the feast day is September 29th. The color of the candle is red, purple, and green, or red, purple, or green. The petition. So you guys know petitions are basically prayers written down on paper. And it's kind of like when you write down prayers on paper, you're kind of like solidifying, you're kind of like, I want to say, putting it in stone what your wishes are. So with this petition basically is for deliverance from enemies, protection from evil and harm, victory in battle, protection of home and business, and to protect from police harassment as well. I want to go a little further with that because I told you guys in the last show that we were in Libra season, and if you guys notice, Saint Michael also holds the scales. And this would be also a good time for legal protection. If you have to go to court, or if you have to make decisions and you just really need protection, like, okay, I know I got to go to court this day, or I got to, write up these legal papers and I really want everything to go smoothly, you can use Saint Michael as well. What do you do with the petition? Well, the petition usually, after I've cleansed my space, cleansed my candles, I can either place the petition underneath the candle and burn it for 7 days, or I can burn the petition and just basically like drop it in the fireproof dish, and just kind of like pray over that. So you can do chime. You can use chime candles and prayers and petitions when you need to use them. If you just feel like it's just a time where you really need protection or you really need healing, you can definitely use and make your own petitions. So that's what I wanted to say. So St. Michael Feast Day is coming up September 29th. Now, what I'm probably going to do is, number one, let me just take this back a couple of days here. So the fall equinox and the new moon, which is what I talked about on the last show, basically just hit us all in 1 week, okay? So this would be our new seasonal week. This is where we really want to make sure that the old is out and the new is coming through. And we are also reaping what we've sowed, or, however that saying goes. I usually don't say it right, but I just want to say, like, we're reaping the rewards or the benefits for our hard work that we've done all year and getting prepared for the new year. As early as it is, yes, it's September, we're getting prepared for the new year. So that's really good. So I'll look for that St. Michael prayer, and I will put that video up on my on TikTok. We have like these videos at the top. I'll put that up to the top, just to represent that, and that's about it. There's a couple of things actually. I know a student of mine, so what I'm going to do is actually, I know I'm like, I'm thinking, I'm talking, I do this randomly, but after I finish recording this, I'm going to send this link to the one particular student that wants to know about protection. Also, the book of Psalms, Psalm 51 and Psalm 91. I'm just going to tell you like that. If you really trying to get stuff up off of you, Psalm 91 and Psalm 51. And you don't even have to be a Christian to say this out loud in your home, to yourself, in your head. You really don't. It's something about the words, and I won't go too deep or too heavy on that, but the words, if you just pull up Psalm 51 and read through it, or if you pull up Psalm 91 and read through it, I did this with someone. I told them, pull up that prayer on the computer and just take a look. She said she actually ended up crying. If you read through the words, then you'll understand what I'm saying, especially if you feel like you're being spiritually attacked, or if you feel like there's just negativity around you and you're just tired, you're just plumb tired. You definitely can read through that and see how you feel about it before you pray using it, basically. So a couple of things here I'm just going to show in the camera while I'm recording myself. I wanted to show you guys this rosemary. Rosemary is really good. Healing, spiritual protection. I like to make teas with it. I talked about this in the class. This particular bundle I'm actually going to hang dry it for the next couple of days. It'll be perfect to burn in my home for protection and blessings on the 29th, on St. Michael Day, which I'm probably going to cook a very small meal, have some candles around, and basically ask for protection that way. Also, I went to the forest, last month, and I got some pine cones. These are really good to have around the house just to get yourself into the fall mood, and a couple other things. I have some fall leaves on my altar. I'm getting somewhere with this because I actually have a card that came out in my reading, my own personal reading the other day, and it was just amazing. These moon cards. So if you guys want some really good cards that are not tarot, Queen of the Moon Oracle cards, so I'll show that in the camera. Queen of the Moon Oracle cards. These are really good cards. If you really, I know I'm talking really fast, but I got to get this off of my chest. If you can really center yourself and your abilities. If you know how to cleanse cards and heal with them and pray and really just get the energy, your cards will come out exactly on point. So this is a card that I pulled last week, and I knew what it meant. So I'll show that to you, and I'll say it on here so you guys can get a visual of it. Next thing, I'm just looking, taking a look around, and okay, so a couple things that I did the other day when I cleaned my home for the new moon. I mixed cloves. This is ground cloves, all right, so it's in a powder form, also with ground cinnamon, all right, and also with ground allspice. I mixed that up and swept my floors with it. Why did I do that? Well, number one, it brings on the energy of spirit. Okay, it's also for protection, but it's also for good luck. All right, that's another thing too. Cinnamon, allspice, ground cloves. Sweep it up, just sprinkle a little here and there, and your home will definitely smell like fall. That's that cinnamony, smell. You don't want too much, but it also will bring you good luck. And I've noticed over the years as I've done this, things happen. Things happen, and I notice things. So you might want to try that. Another thing I'm going to show in the camera here, which if in about 24 hours, I'm actually going to post this on YouTube. So, if you guys want to see all of this stuff, I wanted to show this in the camera as well. This is Santa Clara, or a St. Clair water, which is basically like the Mother Mary water. It's holy water. The reason it looks like this, which is kind of white, it's not clear, is because I mixed it with Florida water. Now I want to tell you what I did on the new moon the other day. I decided to take this water and bless my home with it. I sprinkled it around the dark corners of my home, especially underneath the bed, the scary parts of the home where nobody likes to look. Underneath my bed, in the closets, in the dark corners of my home, and said a protection prayer over my home. There's another thing that I did with this. I did a protection sigil, which basically I just kind of dipped my finger into the water and did a protection sigil over my front door, or on my front door, I should say. I also took this water and drew crosses around all of my doorways. So, I'm just saying, there's something you could do. I've been practicing this for a while. I don't get much drama here. I've noticed since I've started cleansing my home and doing things like that, the drama and the negativity from the environment has basically died down. So I start to notice that. One more thing before I get the reading here on Wisdom app. This is called Rue Herb Bath. This is really good for good luck too. So I'm going to show this in the camera, and I'll have this on the YouTube video so you guys can take a look and look for that. It's just something you could pour in your bath and take a spiritual bath with it and really just pray to yourself on having things going really good in your life and finances and stuff like that. Really, like, I want to say it would be more connected to your finances and getting money and being successful. This is a really good bath to soak in. All right, enough with all of that stuff. You got the St. Michael prayer. I'll put that to the side because I got to put that back in front of my candle. This particular card, number 38, Hunter Moon, Abundance. I'm going to show this in the camera too. As you can see on the camera, which I'm talking to you guys, but I'll just, I always try to do silly stuff like this. So I know you guys listening are like, what? I'm on camera. So it shows a goddess. It shows a goddess, and you can clearly see in the camera that she is like a fall goddess. She has foxes, she has all of the animals, the fall leaves around her, and a full moon. And I noticed when I got this the other day, I knew what time it was. I said that fall autumn equinox, that Mabon is coming, and there's going to be a total change. What I'm going to do here is read this for you guys, which is the little cheat book that comes with this set. And this is called Abundance. It says, take advantage of this time of abundance. It is all around you. Possibility and opportunity are everywhere. You are open and responsive to the abundance around you. There is enough for everyone. So this is a mantra. If you guys want to write this down and say it to yourself, you're welcome to. It says, I am abundant and I am surrounded by opportunity. Now, let me just stop right there. Let me stop half-assing with this. I actually did this as a mirror invocation, I should say. Let me kind of rephrase that. I do mirror invocations. Dang, I'm telling myself. A mirror mantra, I should say. This is something where I literally sit in front of the mirror and say this to myself. I am abundant. I am surrounded by opportunity. Just repeated that at least 9 to 13 times. There's different meanings for why I say this, that many times. Anyway, the hunter moon is the traditional moon of plenty. It is when game was at its most plentiful, so the people would not go hungry. The moon was large and bright in the sky, and in some cases deep orange, and there was a great deal of light to go hunting well into the evening. Our ancient ancestors couldn't just go off to the supermarket to buy what they needed to eat. Meat, basically, didn't come on trays wrapped in plastic. Eggs were gathered, warm clothing was made from the skins of the same animals that were hunted for meat. And I know some of you guys are like, I know some people don't like that, but our ancestors had to do what they had to do, all right? And I didn't write this, but I'm going to read it to you. So nothing was wasted. This abundance was part of a cycle just like any other. It wasn't present all the time. So this time of the year was to be taken advantage of while the going was good. The barrenness of winter would soon return. Hunters had to be prepared. They had to have their weapons ready and their tracking skills honed. As modern people, we are less used to these natural cycles of plenty and bareness because most of us have stepped away from growing foods and the natural environment. However, these cycles are still there, even if we are not a part of them consciously. This moon normally rises in October in the northern hemisphere, and so was before the winter snows. All right, so this hunter moon is going to be coming up, and I knew what time it was when I saw this card. Like I said, this is a fall goddess. She has fall leaves all around her. She's in a red robe, and she has like the animals out in the forest. It's just, I just knew what time it was. So I'm talking fast because I'm getting ready to get you guys through this this little reading, and I'm gonna step off because I gotta cook dinner tonight. All right, so I'm just going to read one chapter of this Third Eye Awakening. So let me show that in the camera so you guys can look for that, by Ella Hughes. It's a new book that I got. Third Eye Awakening, The Ultimate Guide to Discovering New Perspectives, Increasing Awareness, Consciousness, and Achieving Spiritual Enlightenment Through the Powerful Lens of the Third Eye. Interesting book. Page 21, in case you guys have this book or you're going to buy this book, this is where I'm reading from, Beyond the Senses. Actually, let me see something real quick. I'm going to skip through because there was one part that I wanted to read. In the case of popular individuals like Nostradamus, I read this to you guys before, but I'm going to read it all the way through. The third eye manifested its power through prophecy. According to the mystic healers, and brow chakra can grant an individual the ability to foresee future events because of the increased clarity that they have in the present. While some individuals open third eyes claim to have visions of the future, there are others who simply are more attuned to the now. So how does this work? Well, first, let me tell you guys why I'm reading this, because, I just kind of feel like there's a particular portal that I feel is open. There's a spiritual awakening that I feel is on the rise. And the turn of the season is the heightened part of the year where these things happen for a lot of people, I should say. So having a clear image of the present time without the distortion of bias can make it easier to anticipate what lies ahead. So that makes sense. Imagine driving down the road. Oh, wait, let me reread that because that didn't make any sense. Imagine driving down that road, slopes up and down, as if you were driving over the hills. The path itself is narrow, rocky, and uneven, and along its roadsides are lush vegetation and forests. Sharp curves come one after the other, preventing you from driving in a straight line. Given the conditions, it would be impossible to detect what lies ahead. So there's no way for you to predict or to anticipate what you should expect. Now, imagine flying over this road. The first scenario of driving represents your perspective of the world by using your human senses. The second represents how you might see the world using your third eye chakra. While it doesn't eliminate the obstructions, distractions, and elements of the road you're on, it does let you see above them. As you soar over the road, you can see what lies ahead, and you can plan what you need to do in order to optimize your journey and minimize the struggles of moving through this treacherous road. I knew reading this was going to make sense. Okay, so this totally makes sense. Using our third eye, especially in this part of the year, I think is it's a very good thing. We need to be able to see the future. We need to be able to see past what is right in front of our faces. If you can imagine and see your own future before it happens, you are using your energy and your thought forms to basically make it happen and manifest it. And being able to see a clear vision and get through these treacherous roads or these treacherous times, it's something that may be hard to do, but as you practice this more and more, treacherous roads won't be a huge deal. It'll be nothing, right? Because you can get through anything. All right, so it says, in the same way, the third eye doesn't remove any of our biases or previously conceived ideas. Instead, it puts everything into perspective. It lets you see where biases and tendencies fit and how they affect the decisions you make. By showing you the complete context of your truth, your third eye chakra lets you anticipate the future. Okay, I'm going to skip over a little bit to the clairvoyance because, see, let me just stop because my energy is off the chain. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to put that down. You guys will see me on the video like, this girl is crazy. Sometimes I get heightened energy and I have to slow down. So the energy that I'm getting is right now, I've been talking about this major change for like a couple of months. It could just be me. But I really want everybody to grow. So I take you guys on this journey with me. During these particular changes, you may see your future. You may have particular dreams as well. And it's really just an opening to a new reality. If you can see yourself as a new version of yourself, then that may become a new reality for you. And as these things happen, or as you start to get visions, you will start to notice different things happening with your third eye. For me, the first inclination that my third eye was actually active was the day that I couldn't stop the middle of my forehead from pulsating. I knew something was going on. And every time I did a reading, it would pulsate there. And we don't actually think that this, sometimes people, we don't actually think this is something real or physical, these chakras in our body and stuff like that, but they can be. And, it just really helps you to see things more clearly in your life. And that's really all I want to say, because see, I start going off and off and off, and I won't stop talking, and I got to cook dinner. But I think it's very important.